All right, so Jules, we've heard about Lyon, but Paris Saint-Germain, they lost again away at Rennes, who I think beat them more than anybody in recent years in Ligue 1. Yeah. What an atmosphere as the team buses arrived there at the Roison.
Yeah, the Roison Park is great. It's been great for a few years now. A lot of young fans, young ultras, if you want, putting great atmosphere within the ground. And it's part of the reason why PSG struggle every time they go there. It's the bogey team. I think it's 3 wins and 1 draw now.
It's Pep Genesio as well.
Pep Genesio, of course. I hear
that they're calling Guardiola, Bruno Guardiola, actually.
Yeah, no, very much so, for sure. And he had a good plan, Pep Genesio, to be fair to him. The back five worked really well. They were aggressive. They played great. And PSG, on the other hand, were shocking. No verticality, no movement, nothing happening. Mbappe was on the bench, so was Hakimi. But Messi and Neymar started. Didn't do anything. I think this was the game with the lowest XG for PSG so far this season. The lowest shot on target as well. They just were not. They didn't turn up. They were not there. It was pretty embarrassing.
Was it a bit of a World Cup hangover? Hakimi didn't look great when he came on, and Mbappe missed a big chance at the end.
Yeah, I think this is certainly the excuse that Galtier is giving us now, saying, but I knew January would be tough because we had 11 players at the World Cup who went quite far, in the competition. And we expected it. I think it's BS, to be fair. I think that even if that was the case, even if they are maybe a bit tired, I mean, Messi had 3 weeks off. Mbappe had 2 weeks off. So, I'm not really sure if that's a reason. Why I think is Galtier is not doing a very good job right now. I just don't think what he does at training, but we don't see any of it during matches. And players don't seem to care that much. So I think it's really worrying what we've seen on Sunday night on the back.
How long is it before you start referring to him as the French guy, Jules?
Very soon, I think, because he's really tiring me now, and I start to get really, really cross watching them and shouting at him, and I just don't see anything from him. I don't see any ideas that. Like that game on Sunday, just quickly on it. It was from the beginning, you could tell that it was not going to be a good night. And yet he didn't do anything to change apart from bringing on Kylian, which anybody could have done. So he's there standing and I just don't see any leadership from him. Any things like, okay, this is not working. But clearly from the beginning, it looked like it was not going to work. But he didn't do anything until late and bringing on Mbappe, which is not good enough, I think.
Jules, there's a certain kind of margin for error with PSG managers. You can slip up a certain amount and you're still going to walk the league. PSG have a 3-point advantage still, but that's the second away defeat in a row. How concerned are you about this year's title?
Yeah, I think it would be a challenge, maybe more than we certainly thought at the start of the season. The way they started, it was good. I mean, we can go back to the debate. Did Messi and Neymar really perform that well in the first half of the season because the World Cup was coming and now it's going to be different? No one knows. We would have to wait a little bit more to see. I don't think so. But certainly Lens 3 points behind. They would have to travel to the Parc des Princes. Marseille 5 points behind, by the way, on an incredible winning streak right now. Playing really well, both of them, to be fair. So... There would be a challenge. Monaco are 10 points behind, so they're a bit too far, I think. But it's going to be quite fascinating to see how PSG react. The thing about the 2 away defeats, the 2 home wins against Angers and Strasbourg, who are really bad teams, were kind of difficult to get as well. It's not like they blew them away. So it's a bit worrying.
Okay, Lens beat Auxerre 1-0 to go 3 points behind the Parisians. Olympique Marseille 3-1 winners against Lorient, who had Vito Manoni in goal. I noticed there was a lot of former gunner in that because you had Kolasinac and Sanchez both on the score sheet,
and Guendouzi who played as well for Marseille. Yeah, so a few of them. Marseille going behind and then reacting really well. They're playing so great. They're the teams whose defenders scored the most this season. Their wing backs, Kolasinac scored, as you said, in that game, and their defenders, they're very good on set pieces. They have a lot of good crosser of the balls, and the wing backs, that Cengiz Ünder, who played right wing back in that game, crossed the ball for Kolasinac, who was the left wing back. So that works really well. Tudor, I have to say, for all the maybe skepticism that was there when he arrived, including from the fans who remember booed him in that first friendly that he took charge of, has won everybody over. It's working really well. And if they can strengthen, other than from Malinovsky, who had a good first start, could have been better, I think, but still part of that big win. I think they could really push Lens and PSG, and let's go. Let's see how far they go. And don't forget that I think PSG will have to travel to the Velodrome this season. So
the Totally Football Show podcast is available 3 times a week, bringing you all the football news you could reasonably be expected to care about. We've got views, we've got stats, we've got analysis, we've got some of the best football writers around, and the whole thing is absolutely free. So have a listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or all the usual places by clicking on the link below.